Adding veterans to fill holes, check. A promising NFL draft, check. A successful rookie minicamp, check. So let's talk about what's left on the Dallas Cowboys to-do list this offseason.
A lot of national media is going through this, where's the biggest hole?
Yeah.
Where's the biggest weakness? Where's the biggest problem? And they seem to pinpoint 3 spots.
Okay.
First of all, because there is this weird Dak hate, which really is, by the way, and I'm speaking to you, national media, and you, Cowboy Nation specifically, that's really weird.
Yeah.
That you would hate him. You can think he's the 9th best quarterback in the league, or the 5th, or the 19th, or he's not much lower than that.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why you like despise him.
Yeah.
It makes no football sense to me, nor does it make any human sense to me. Dak Prescott is not a Cowboys weakness, period. So get that one out of there.
Right.
They think going into the draft, they think, well, maybe we'll draft a starting left guard. That probably didn't happen. But now the Cowboys are coming out and saying, well, we always have the best 5 philosophy. Steven said it the other day, Steven Jones. I'm like, no kidding, Sherlock. That's exactly what you have, which means Tyler Smith plays left guard,
yes,
and Tyron Smith plays left tackle. It's so easy. They solved the run stopping thing with the drafting of Mozzie Smith.
Yes.
And they think he's fantastic.
And he is huge.
He is a big, square,
going to block.
athletic
Yes.
guy. Absolutely. And so to me, it's kicker. And to me, it's so obvious that it's kicker when Bones Fossil, who by the way is out there jogging on the Cowboys practice field right now.
If I could jog the way Bones Fossil jogs.
How's that?
I mean, he is always out there.
Okay. I think you could probably do it.
I don't know. I think he might have the best endurance I've ever seen.
He has a body built for endurance.
Yeah. Wrist guards and all.
Including his wristbands. He does not have Bones Fossil does not have a body that is built for somebody that played professional football, which he did not do. But he is built for distance. By the way,
yeah,
my wife thinks that his nickname is Bones Fossil because a bone and a fossil sound like the same thing.
Wait, I love that.
We need to ask him because, first of all, if we ask him, he will do about a 30-minute entertaining press conference on the answer.
Right.
I think his name's Bones Fossil because he's skin and bones.
Right.
Now, how do we get up on that topic?
Wow,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure. Okay, yes, kicker.
Because he has openly come out and said, the special teams coordinator is coming out and said, here's what our weakness is. We don't have a kicker, even though they have Tristan Vizcaino in the building. So it's really clear.
Yeah.
And he's even named names, and this is rather without precedent, that a coordinator would come out and say, we got a problem at this star position, and so I'm going to start naming guys. Suckup is out there, and Robbie Gold is out there, and he named 3 guys. You just don't see that very often. So the Cowboys' weakness, the Cowboys' hole, they have put it on a billboard here at the Star and told you it's kicker.
Right. What would you say was the biggest surprise that came out of it?
Well, there's a misconception, and I think some people will be surprised by this. They obviously don't tackle.
Yeah. No contact.
They obviously don't hit. In fact, under the CBA and the rule and the salary cap being what it is, they also don't tackle and don't hit, like ever. We'll get to Oxnard, and we'll be there, of course.
Yeah.
And there will be very brief moments when something is really loud, where somebody hits somebody.
Yeah.
But it's just not part of football practice anymore because the risk reward isn't there. It makes tackling in the NFL worse than it's ever been, but it also keeps people from getting hurt. So this rookie minicamp, and we'll accelerate things on the 25th when there's it's an OTA minicamp and veterans will be here.
Yeah.
The misunderstanding about what is accomplished here is this is all about teaching. This is a blackboard on the field, a chalkboard on the field. So this is where you stand. This is what very generally what our playbook philosophy looks like.
This is where the locker room is.
We joke around about the locker room's over there, the bathrooms are over there,
It's
and
a big building, and you could get lost.
Right, and the fast food joints are over there. And by the way, try to avoid those if you can. So it really is. It's a big building. It's a big facility. It's very much a get acquainted with what you're about to immerse yourself in. So
almost an introduction to the Star.
Very much so. So it was an introduction to an introduction to an introduction, and that's what the Cowboy Rookie Minicamp is really about. It's a teaching session.
What constitutes a successful OTAs for the Dallas Cowboys?
Well, we've talked about the lack of full contact.
Yes.
That doesn't prevent somebody from blowing out an ankle.
Right.
Or blowing out a knee. James Washington last year hurt his foot on it was an Oxnard. It wasn't an OTAs, obviously, but it could have happened in OTAs. He was just running a deep route and just reached out for the ball and his foot just went wrong.
Yep.
And he was never able to be the same again. And now he's no longer a Cowboy. James Washington has signed a 1-year deal with the Saints. Mm-hmm. It really is the very first thing that you look for when the two of us are at OTAs. The first thing we're going to look for is, did anybody limp off the field?
Here's the roster. Is everyone here?
Yeah, absolutely. and so trying to get through the thing with full health is really job one. And then at the same time, how much do you push yourself and how much do coaches push you? So I really do think it's an educational thing, continuing, but we have the installation now of the new West Coast offense, McCarthy's West Coast offense. By the way, this is not Brian Schottenheimer's West Coast offense, and Brian Schottenheimer is not in charge.
Yeah.
Brian Schottenheimer is, remember in school when sometimes you had in high school you had the teacher and then you had the teacher's aide?
Yes.
Brian Schottenheimer is the teacher's aide.
Okay.
He's not in charge of anything. Now, that doesn't mean when the teacher leaves the room that you get to throw spitwads.
He's grading your test, so you better make sure
he's still grading your test.
Well.
But he is here to help implement what Mike McCarthy wants done.
Right.
It should be noted for people that go, Schottenheimer. Well, first of all, there is a family bond there because the late Marty Schottenheimer was one of Mike McCarthy's first great mentors. But also, go look up Brian Schottenheimer's record as an offensive coordinator. The last time the Jets were any good, which was 13 years ago, Brian Schottenheimer was the offensive coordinator.
Right.
And I believe they went to the playoffs 2 straight years, and I think they advanced. They may have advanced beyond where the Cowboys have ever advanced in the last 25 years.
Wow.
So Brian Schottenheimer is a more accomplished in terms of playoff success offensive coordinator than anybody the Cowboys have had here in 25 years.
Yeah.
So this is about installation, this is about learning, and this is about making sure that the West Coast offense, including the language, becomes second nature and maybe first language.
Now that we have the Dallas Cowboys schedule, what games have you circled on your calendar?
The first thing that I always go to is how cold and windy and snowy is it going to be in December?
Yeah.
And Stephen Jones, the Cowboys COO, did the same thing. The first game that jumped out at him, he said the other day, Cowboys at Buffalo.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of reasons for Cowboys at Buffalo to be big. First of all, you can start with the Buffalo side of things.
Yeah.
They're the 3-time in a row defending champions of the AFC East. They have dominated the opposition there.
But still waiting on that Super Bowl.
Still waiting on the Super Bowl, which makes Josh Allen, who, as far as I'm concerned, is as MVP worthy going into this season as about anybody this side of Patrick Mahomes. He still hasn't accomplished that thing either.
The feat.
For some reason, he doesn't get the same abuse that Dak Prescott gets, but really the results in so many ways have been very similar, good and sometimes not so good. The schedule is set up for the Jets to win that division. The number of rest days, the great Warren Sharp did a study on this. They overwhelmingly in the AFC East have rest days, meaning that you have to travel before you play them. They get 8 days between a game, and you get 5.
Yeah.
Time and time again for the Jets to get an advantage there. So the Bills have their own uphill climb in their division, and then here comes Dallas to Buffalo. That will be one of the marquee games of the year. That might be the best team in the AFC. It's certainly one of the best 3.
Plus, late in the season, you never know what kind of things that could depend on it.
The things that could change. As we stand here now, I think the Bills are a top 3 team in the AFC. I think the Cowboys are a top 3 team in the NFC. But the Cowboys don't have to go play in the wind and the cold and the rain at Philadelphia on Christmas. On Christmas Eve, they will be at Miami.
Yeah.
That sounds like a pleasant road trip for us to make. Let's go. We'll think about Buffalo, but we're going to Miami.
There we go.